All right, welcome back to Prestige Motorsports. We're in our crating area today. What I wanted to do is take the time to show you on an airboat specific package. This one's going to be more complete. I'll do another video about all the other little details that's going on with this particular one. But this video, we will cover the aux box or aux drives gear reduction and mounting it on the back of the engine. Previously, we have had, not necessarily with aux drives, there's belt drives out there where guys beat these things on there. They draw them up like the bell housing bolts. They'll draw that up to the back of the engine, resulting in pushing against the crankshaft and killing a thrust bearing. So what I'm going to show you are some just tips and tricks to try to avoid that. All right, this is very, very similar to like an installation of an automatic transmission. We have other videos for that, automatics, manuals. First thing, obviously, you're going to install the flex plate. We use a JW flywheel, JW wheel, the wheel, or Mazir also has a really nice billet one. They're pretty expensive. These work really well in this application. All right, so after it's mounted, you're just going to measure the pilot bearing opening or crank pilot. And we just take this measurement against the measurement on the gearbox. And it should be basically zero or a minimal amount of clearance. So that way we can kind of ensure that that drive is going to slip right on there. The other thing to note, so these drives come with this pilot bushing already pressed on there. So that's the reason we measured it. But they do these for big block, small block, LS. And sometimes they may get, a little bit boogered up, or maybe they just don't measure quite right. So if you measure it first, then you're going to avoid basically trying to draw that thing up. When we grab this box, it should just basically slide right on there with very little effort. The other thing to notate is there's holes in here for the drive plate to the flex plate. Notice this is closest to the top, and then there's another one that's closer to the inner circle. You're going to position this bolt hole at the top, and then you're going to also position the top bolt hole, the center top of the motor. And the reason why is the bolts that are on the gearbox are going to go between here. If they're not lined up, you will not get that thing on. So just an FYI. All right, so we got the gearbox. We'll line up these dowel pins here. And you see it just slipped right in. Okay, seated up there, really, really nice. And I'm just going to take the hardware that was supplied and just put one bolt in for now. But that is the way that thing should come up to the back of this engine. Nice and easy slip in, and we know that we don't have any binding or any interference. All right, so one of the key things here that we're really trying to cover is the box should go in nice and smooth. The other thing is we record crankshaft end play in the motor. That's what this is all about. So if you look, I've got this dial indicator here on the balancer, and it's at 0 right now. And so I'm just going to take this pry bar between the balancer, and I'm going to pull it forward, and you'll see that's recorded like 6 thousandths of end play, okay? Usually 5 to 7 thou of end play. So I've just verified that this thing still has end play with the gearbox on it, okay? That's one important thing. Then you have these spacers that go between there. This is critical, okay? So I've pulled this thing all the way forward. That would be the furthest forward it's going to go. And essentially, I'm going to take this, and we would slip it between here, and a bolt is going to go in there. So you can see it slides in there, pretty free. Essentially, whenever I bolt this up, it's now going to pull that crankshaft back. All right, so what I had showed you there, we had 5 to 6 thou of end play, right? And basically, I was able to slide the spacer in and out. So now what I've done is set this at roughly 2.5 thousandths, okay? Right in the center of our end play. And if you'll take a look, I took this spacer and I slipped it up in there, and you'll see it's kind of stuck in there. That's basically telling us that we have the crankshaft right in the middle of its end play, okay, forward to rearward, and that spacer just snugly fits in there. So we know that there's nothing acting on this crankshaft, pushing it or pulling it. So it's very, very important. So again, if you've got a belt box that is done differently, I don't expect everybody to necessarily use a dial indicator, but it's such a critical thing. And if you're spending 30, $20, $30, $40,000 on an engine, I can't tell you how important this process really, really is.